Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Dude Heat here. Bring you guys a brand new video on the Jordan 8 Aqua. I'm going to be doing a little suede dye restoration. If you guys don't know already, when I first started the channel, I was doing a lot of restorations. Painting midsoles, restoring shoes, and dyeing uppers of Jordans. Just overall kind of getting them back to a wearable condition, and figured the next few videos I'm going to make hopefully are going to be, kind of showing some of this and the process and all that. So if you guys like what you see, definitely let me know in the comments below. But what we see here is a pair of the Jordan 8 Aquas. These haven't come out since 2015. If you guys remember, there was a 2007 pair prior to that. So we are due for a new pair, but for those people that have a pair of these, a lot of them are probably getting a little worn out. Of course, you can tell right away the difference between the 07 version and 2015 by looking at some of the speckling in the midsole. If you guys remember when these first came out, people were really upset about that. Like, they were like genuinely mad that there was these little sparkles on the midsole, which is actually, you guys can correct me, a little bit closer to the OG than the 2007 pair, but there were some differences between some of the colors and all that, and some people got upset. Anyway, doesn't really matter because we are expecting, hopefully, this shoe to release soon. But for those that know already, and this doesn't just apply to Jordan 8s, but also, you'll see this in the 6s and some other models as well. This upper right here, whether it be a Suede, a Nubuck, or a Nubuck, could get some scuffing, could get some discoloration over time. Basically, if it's a black upper, you're going to want to find a way to restore it. Maybe you guys don't know how to restore your shoes. It's actually really, really easy. And I'll just take you through step by step how to do it here. So this shoe actually has a Nubuck upper. Okay, so you can use a suede dye to dye this. And I'm going to start actually with a little bit of a story time. If you guys don't like it and you just want to see the tutorial, just skip ahead. But basically, I got this shoe for free, pretty much, right? So I'll tell you the story really quick. I'll show you guys, as you can see here, right? There's going to be a little bit of scuffing. But overall, the shoe is pretty clean condition. I think, a little bit of like toe box creasing there. But here, check the other one out. They're overall like in really, really good condition, considering they're 8 years old now. If you guys saw one of my previous videos, I had this shoe. I'm going to link it down below. I had this shoe stolen from me. It's crazy. I just needed the money at the time. I had to sell it. I'll link it down below. You can check that whole story out. It was a wild story. And since I got it stolen, I was like, oh man, I kind of want this shoe back at some point. So really briefly, I purchased this shoe alongside a pair of metallic navy Jordan 1s from 2016, a pair of Air Max 95s, and a pair of Jordan 3 True Blues, and a pair of Jordan 4, I forget what they're called, but they're the red and white ones that came out, I think, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. And obviously, everyone is on the Jordan 4 wave right now, so that pair was a little bit too big for me. And my whole intention, actually, when I bought these, was just to buy this pair. So I show up at the guy's house, right? And I met him off of, was that Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji? And he had all these other pairs lined up. He didn't tell me about the pairs when I showed up. And I was like, oh, wow, can we figure out some sort of deal for all of them? And so, I like to kind of clean shoes up. I like to kind of sell shoes here and there, especially if it's kind of justifying buying the shoe itself. So already he was going to give me a good price on these. I think he was going to pay I want to say $200 Canadian, which for a clean pair like this, I think is a very, very fair price. But then he had a bunch of other pairs there as well. So I was like, okay, listen, what do you want for all the pairs? I just kind of did it live there in person. We kind of negotiated a really, really good price for all of them. I was going to maybe keep the metallic navies, but they were a little bit too beat for my liking. So I ended up selling all the pairs at really good prices. So the people that bought them got really good prices on them. But in the end, I ended up getting these for free. Actually, maybe made $20. But that's all I really cared about. So I was like, okay, cool. Got a pair stolen a few years ago, got the exact same pair back, and didn't really have to pay for it. So that's the quick story. So things kind of worked out in the end. But let's talk about the shoe itself. Like I said, really clean condition. You might have a pair like this where, you know, you're going to have eventually, especially the '07 pair, like the toe box is going to start like flaking and peeling. In which case, if that's what's happening, let me know in the comments. I can help you out. But basically what you're going to have to do is probably try to strip most of the upper. And you could do that with like, maybe not acetone, but you can use like a nail polish remover just to strip the top layer, because you're going to have to completely re-dye the whole shoe. If it's my case, and you just have this tiny little piece here on the strap, which like this obviously happened because the guy's walking like this and he was rubbing his shoes against one another as he walked. If it's kind of like spot treatment, you can use just like a suede dye. There's a couple different ways in which you can do this. I know Angelus has a suede dye. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Fibings, they have a suede and rough out dye. I like this dye better. I've done restorations with the Angelus one. The Angelus one leaves the upper looking almost like purple, gives like a purple hue, and I don't like that very much. And you don't see it right away, and then over time when it dries, you see it. I tried this suede dye out a couple years ago, and I've been using this consistently. And you can find this on Amazon, this exact product. I'll try and link it down below so you guys can easily get it. But this is what I highly, highly recommend. Jordan 6s, Durabuck material, Nubuck material, even suede. This will work for you, okay? And then you're gonna wanna get your own paintbrush. This is just a cheap brush that I got like at the dollar store. And then, you know, you're gonna have, this is kind of like a dabber. And then you're gonna have the actual dye itself. So I'll take that out in a second and show you guys. But again, going back to what I was saying, spot treatment, you can use a product like this. Different people want to use different things. You could use an Angelus leather paint mixed with GAC 900, which I don't have right now, and I don't think is necessary. If I was to do the entire shoe, I'd probably do that. But for a quick fix, guys, highly recommend this. Okay, so all we're going to be doing today is just dyeing this little bit right here. I'm going to show you guys kind of how I do it. It's going to be very, very simple, but at the same time, you know, these are expensive shoes. When you have Jordans, when you have pairs, you don't want to mess them up, right? So it's always good to consult with people online first. And yeah, let's just get right into it now. All right, guys, so I have the suede and rough out dye. You guys can see it's a pretty big bottle. I think this will last like quite a while if you are planning on doing a few pairs of shoes, and it's not very expensive. Whenever you get a suede dye, always be sure to shake it up a little bit. Make sure all the contents and all the stuff that's settled at the bottom is kind of all mixed up nicely. Get yourself your paintbrush. You could use the dabber. I've tried it a few times, but the problem is it's very, very wide, so it's going to cover other areas that you might not want to. I have a thin kind of paintbrush here, which I'm going to use. And then before you actually, just remember, before you actually start working on the material that you want to dye, you need to make sure it's clean. So here it's just a basic, it's actually a Jason Mark cleaning brush, but I like using this brush because it's really, really soft. You can use any sort of like suede brush or just a soft bristle brush, and you're gonna want to clean your surface. I'm not saying necessarily with a cleaning solution. In this case, if it's like a material that you don't want you know, to kind of ruin, I don't like cleaning a lot of my suedes and Nubucks with water all the time. If I can help it, I typically just like using kind of dry brush, right? So you can get away, you know, get off some of the dust and, you know, some of the other like fibers that are on the shoe itself. So I'm gonna put the camera on a stand. I'm gonna clean this area with this dry brush, and then I'll get to painting or dyeing. I'm gonna do probably 2 coats. We're gonna let this dry. You'll see the whole process, and then we'll see what it looks like at the end. All right, you guys, so we did 2 layers of or 2 applications of the suede dye on this side, and as you guys can see, it came out really, really well. It's still dry, and the light obviously is gonna make it look maybe a little bit different, but I mean, just look at this. This is what they used to look like, right? This is what they look like now. So, I mean, it's super simple, and it can really just kind of change the shoe. Let's say, one, you want to buy a shoe, you see some flaws in it, you can fix it up for $4 or $5. Two, you want to buy the shoe for yourself. Maybe you want to sell the shoe. This is a really, really easy way for you to just restore like small things. Obviously, if it happens on different parts of the shoe, you can do that as well, but look at that. Looks pretty good. I'm going to get started with this shoe, and I'll catch you guys in a second. All right, you guys, we're back. I've let these dry for a couple hours now. Just wanted to show you guys the final results here. Came out pretty good. Check this one out. And just for reference, that's what it looks like. If anything, it looks like it even darker, which I don't mind at all. Again, if you're going to do this properly, you can do the entire shoe, but that would be overkill for something as small as this, just for small touch-ups. But again, this is the product that I used. Make sure that you guys are aware. It's really good stuff. Any questions that you guys have, let me know down below. Of course, hit that subscribe button if you want to continue supporting me, watching my videos. It's been several years, coming up to 10 years of doing YouTube. So for all those that are still watching, really support you, or really appreciate you rather. And hey, look out for more videos to come. All right, I'm gonna do Heat. Signing out. Peace.